Alright, our quest for the Barrow-Dyad begins with me Googling how to obtain the Barrow-Dyad. There's apparently a couple of locations that you can first access the quest in, but here I am in the Hall of Souls in the Little Mill Arena is where I found my first Blighted Cyst. Once in this cyst, we were able to run around a bit, but the main object of interest is a rune on the little glowing green hive barrier and the platform on the ground. So the platform points in a direction, but this direction doesn't actually line up with anything because most of the time you can just ignore it. Instead, you have to pay attention to the little message on the bottom left hand side of the screen, where in my case it says something whispers to the right. So as I step on the platform, I look at the rune and move in the right direction, in my case the right, and that transports me to a different version of the cyst where I'm able to obtain the taken osseous fragment. Alright, so we head back to Eris's flat and interact with the shipping slab. Sloan has a giant wall of text for us to read through. You can do so if you really want to. She just basically says, here's a fragment. Good luck, bro. This takes us to step 2 of the taken path. Find something the Hive have concealed somewhere in Sorrow's Harbor. To the moon, Sorrow's Harbor is just one of the locations we can straight up teleport to. And where we are headed is the K1 Revelations Lost Sector. All right, after we enter the Lost Sector, all of the ads actually just despawn before my eyes. I'm like, bro, what happened? So obviously, this is what happens as a part of the quest train, but initially I'm confused. I'm like, oh wait, did something happen to the Lost Sector? Why are none of the ads spawning? Then I noticed the Taken Blight. I'm like, okay, so no, this clearly was supposed to happen. I noticed, one of the platforms that we can stand on. I'm trying to take a note of the rune. Boom. There we have it, the little Vex head rune. I tried shooting at the rune to see, if the message will respawn because I forgot what direction I needed to step in. So I'm literally just staring at the rune like, surely something will happen. All right, I get off the plate and take note that says something behind whispers, and this takes me into a modified version of the Lost Sector. So I'm like, okay, whatever I did correctly. And I took note of the rune and the direction I was to step in, which apparently don't matter. So very, very cool. But here I just need to take care of some of these taken ads. Not a big deal. This eventually culminates in a boss fight against the Keeper of Power. Just a simple chaos reach absolutely beams it down, no problem. And I can go ahead and collect another taken osseous fragment. All right, step 3 takes us all the way to the Cosmodrome and into the Forgotten Shore to the Veles Labyrinth Lost Sector. This is apparently a Lost Sector I haven't completed quite yet, so this is going to be the first time I complete the Lost Sector. I don't know why you go in the cave behind when clearly, Lost Sector is pointed at the shift, but here we go. Just going to follow the path downwards, and this one is actually a bit confusing, and I end up wasting a bunch of time because the first blight is actually not obvious. So I actually just since the first time in this Lost Sector, I end up running all the way backwards to back to where the marker is. And I'm like, wait a second, that's not right. Then I found myself all the way at the end of the tunnel and looking at the objective marker, and I'm like, bro, there's nothing here. So I end up finding a plate and one of the runes, but when looking at the rune, nothing happens. I'm like, bruh, what is wrong? Clearly, I must have missed something. And I did. All right, so I run back towards the entrance. I take a turn and notice that, oh, there's some blue light. So here is a rune that I need to step onto. And without even paying attention to the rune or the direction I was stepping in, I accidentally completed the instructions. I'm like, bruh, I need to go back, run all the way back now because I didn't take note of what the rune was, which I'm gonna repeat again, that did not matter. So I'm wasting time here for no good reason. Yeah, and sometimes the plates it's a bit finicky. I'm like, bro, I'm stepping forward. Hello. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a couple of tries to get it to activate properly. I'm like, okay, your rune noticed. Let me step in a direction. Nope. Something whispers forwards, and there I'm crawling, and I end up completely falling off the map. Wow, a great series of events. All I wanted to do was activate the rune, and I took 2 steps forward, and I ended up disappearing off the map. Great job. Okay, surely it will work this time. Nope. Couple. Take a step forward. Taking a step forward. Nope. Just does not want to activate for no good reason. Like, hello? Why did it take me 5 steps to go forward? But, you know, I almost moved to the left too early. I was like, all right, we have to take note of shape. That's me timing out. And now I'm like going to the left. Boom. There I notice another plate. It's weird that the plate's pointed in a direction, but that direction just doesn't matter. It's like, okay, cool. What's the point of that plate having a specific direction attached to it? But looking at the screen just doesn't give me a direction. I'm like, bruh, hello? I just walked backwards and apparently that was correct. So that activates the transformation of this lost sector and go ahead and clear it out. All right, after running back and forth between the entrance and this final platform here, we finally get the final boss of this area to spawn. Akbarl, rival of Navoda. Wow, Chaos Reach demolished him, no problem. I moved towards to the body because I'm like, oh, we do have to rush to go. So I'm like, wait, no, that's not the mechanic introduced quite yet. But this takes us to step 4, where we just have to head back to Sloan. Good progress. I'm refining our search parameters, blah, blah, blah. Apparently I don't care enough. Let's talk next steps. Sloan says, when you return, energy signature update. It's real. But Xir-Chain says it's oscillating in a way that makes it difficult to isolate even now that it isn't blinking in and out of existence. We'll need more of those fragments. They're like precipitated taken energy. And that's where things get complicated. More complicated, Sloan amends. The ones you found earlier were hidden by hive rituals. These 3, the trail goes cold hard. It's like it cuts off 3 different spots. Same taken energy signature overrides the one we're looking for. Probably some sort of protection. She thinks about it. Xir-Chain words behind her shoulder. Similarly thinking. A curse, maybe, Sloan says. Wards and curses are pretty much the same thing to the taken. She sounds frustrated, despite clear efforts to lock it down into pure professionalism. Your fragments might have been moved from there to secondary locations, or might be on site, she says. Start by scouting the locations until you find something taken that doesn't belong. Might be a blight, might be some kind of relic. Just look around. When you found it, hit it until it stops working. It could be there's room for more delicacy, but if all else fails, you have firepower, for a reason. Sloan grimaces. I'd go with you, but someone's got to run Overwatch. Do what you do best, Guardian. I trust you. She repeats this dialogue for all of the curses, and interestingly enough, I don't know if these specific sections of the quest were broken or something, but they are auto-completed and we don't have to deal with the curses, and we can just skip and go straight to the Nether. Alright, starting from the Hall of Souls, so I just head to the center platform and then get stuck on the stairs and then head to the left. Not into the cubby. The cubby is just a red herring, and I find a statue, call to power. Boom, 100 power has appeared behind us. Just a wizard, no problem, too easy. And that allows us to gain another taken, or technically our first taken osseous fragment, and clears the Curse of Endurance. Right, the second statue is headed basically right next to spawn to the right. In the pit below, there is a statue. We go and deposit our call to power, take care of the wizard, double chill clip, boom. Classic glaive melee combo that clears the Curse of Urgency. All right, continue forward, and luckily I do enter the fount second for my second area, so I don't have to waste time reaching the third area. All right, so I head to the opposite side from where the door is, and there is this little open area platform right here. Gonna go ahead and just melee them, kill them real quick. Probably take care of this blight because it's gonna bother me otherwise. All right, blight taken down. Just head to the right and boom, there it is. The third fragment, or just have to take care of the 100 power real quick. Wow, not even a challenge. To the victor, an offering, and that is our third fragment. And with that, we've progressed to the last step of the Taken Pack quest. Plus, Taken Osseous fragment will give you enough signal to locate and pursue a powerful Taken energy deep within the Dreadnaught. This realizes itself on the map as the exotic mission Derealize. We spawn in Vrhiisk, Seeker of Power, being immune while you have to take care of a bunch of ads. Oh, he's actually attacking us. All right, after clearing the ads, the Tormentor spawns. Pretty annoying, but you know, not too much of a problem. Well, it's more annoying when we're silenced, but still not too much of a problem. Go ahead and hit it with Choke Whip, hit it with melee a couple times. Boom, I have a super use on it if I wanted to, but I'm just BMing with melee attacks for no good reason. Just finish off my super probably, no big deal. kill off that other objective targets. Of course, it's Husk, really annoying, but luckily, even though we're in the Nether, we aren't in the, or we're in the Dreadnaught, but we're not in the Nether, so we can regen health. Wow, that is a lot of Grim. It's pretty annoying. Take down another Torment. We finish that off real quick, no problem. Bunch more ads. These Strand Reavers are no joke. Bro, how am I gonna get pulled from full HP to 1 HP and then killed instantly just from being smashed into the barrier? Like, really? Cringe. Just hit him with my big stick, no problem. I mean, this is strangely effective against the subjugator. Better fall away. I'm no expert, not like Eris, but it'll look like that looked ritual. Nice line, Sloan. That looked ritual, like ritual-like, I guess. But that the witness, what rituals do the Dread do? What do they do? Can't be anything good. That's a good question. Subjugator initially, when they brought Eris and Drifter down with it, was performing some sort of ritual. So, be good to know, get some more context on what they could possibly be doing. I'm sure that Taken Power I've been sensing, the one the Taken and the Dread have both been pursuing, is closer than ever. You know how it goes, there's no chance that the Dread are a separate mission. It's too much of a coincidence. Turning on its own troops, something's gone wrong here, and this begins a fight against Vrhiisk, Seeker of Power. We've caught up to him, boom, take care of these ads, and I end up getting absolutely destroyed. That's crazy. Watch out, me. Gotta be a little more careful, apparently. We got 6 Sentinels to defeat, so, you know, just making sure I prioritize them as enemies, even though everything is basically dead at this point. Actually, there's a bunch of signs here. All right, all the Sentinels are dead. That clears the objective, so now let's start respawning. Immunity shield's still up. There's just 2 Taken Ogres called Taken Conduit spawning, so I'm like, all right, well, there's something up with them, especially since they dropped Curse. And now I'm like, oh, wait, do I have to dunk this in somewhere? And I realize that, oh, I can actually use it to shoot things. So I'm like, do I shoot the Blights? That clearly isn't working. So I'm like, wait, do I use this to kill ads? And it is doing damage to ads. So I'm like, okay, well, I probably have to use the curses to kill ads in order to power up the curse or empower the curse, as the objective has it noted. I'm like, bro, it does no damage though, and I just die to the ads. They end up despawning, so I'm like, all right, bro. So I just have to take care of the ogres again, but at least I do have an idea of what I probably need to do with the curses. I just step in the Aversion Anchor, you know, make sure I don't have to do anything with the curse and the Aversion Anchor. You know, just gotta clear a check to make sure, you know, there's no hidden mechanics somewhere. But after empowering the curse enough, I do notice that there are some spots where we can drop the curses to depower the blights. Boom, the objective changed once again to empowering the curse. I'm like, all right, well, I just have to repeat that process for a second curse. Not a big deal now that I know what I'm doing. We are also afflicted by the debuff Torn Between Dimensions. There are actually platforms that will help us reach the second blight to this alternate dimension. I can reach that blight. Wow, crazy. I guess turning everything black and white is cool, but it's also kind of annoying. Luckily, DPSing the boss, not too bad here. Just Chaos Reach, some bullets from our Watchful Eye, some more ad clear, and we just have to defeat some more sentinels and repeat the loop one more time. All right, Curse 1 empowered and Blight 1 destroyed. Wow. And Curse 2 empowered and Blight 2 almost destroyed. There we go. Now destroyed. Supercharged. So once the shield drops, we're in for some big damage. Guardian, hey Guardian, stay with me. Wherever you are, readings are haywire all over the place. Get out as soon as you can. So a bunch of Taken Eye spawn. We're trapped in some sort of blight with the Seeker of Power itself, but we take care of it with a Chaos Reach. Sloan, I still can't get a good fix on you. Do what you have to do to break out. It's all up to you. I trust you. No escape, reality terrors. So clearly we're trapped in some sort of dimension, and I'm taken back to the lost sectors when we have that teleportation thing, or when we had the teleportation and rune markers. So I look back onto my paint picture of the runes. I'm like, maybe the directions mattered, but they don't. And now I'm like, right, well, maybe the direction on the pad matters. It doesn't, but the specific rune does matter, and it takes me probably a bit longer than I would like to admit. But obviously, I do realize that the reality tears automatically transports me to one of the different zones, and we are looping zones and runes. So this is the first one. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I just have to follow the or just have to match the runes with the pattern above. All right, so here I reach, I loop back and I take note of the rune. I look at the rune, move in direction noted. I notice that the pattern at the very top has actually, like, one of the runes broke, and I'm noticing that it seems like I have to probably do this in order. The teleportation is also finicky, so that's me messing up. I'm like, oh, bro, I have to repeat this over and over again. Just because, you know, it's finicky sometimes. But boom, that's one broken, and then I accidentally take one step forward and it auto completes. So that's what I'm fighting here. Honestly, the finickiness is what I have to fight against the most. All right, so finally loop back so I can break the first rune. Now I'm making sure I'm trying to jump onto the plate as perfectly as possible. That's not the rune I need, so make sure I sit here or stand here, do nothing, wait a couple seconds. Maybe this rune will be the one I need to use to break, and it is. Boom. And now I just have to wait for the final rune or the final location to break the final rune. Make sure I land on the plate. I'm too scared to even move a little bit. I'm like, bro, hello, I don't want to waste time. And of course, I move in a direction and I have to loop all the way back to the final location just to break the final rune, just because apparently it did not want to work that time, because of course it didn't. Cool. I mean, this mechanic is cool, and I like you know, the slight puzzle aspect and us having to, you know, figure out what is happening there. And to be honest, I do like the mechanic overall. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't that long. It's like, even though I messed up a couple times, I wish the direction you moved in triggered a little bit more consistently. But overall, I do like the whole mechanic. I do like the whole section. I did think it was pretty neat, because I did have to use my brain just a little bit in order to figure out what was happening. And you know, in the moment it was happening, I wasn't expecting that to happen. So honestly, that was a pretty cool section. And even with the, you know, weird jank, it was still overall pretty good. Moving on, glad you got out of that one safe, but it's one thing after another here. The Dread are the big unknown. To take in, I understand, more or less they crave leadership, a will imposed on them. They're drawn to that power. Even if it's not a bigger taken, it could make a bigger taken for them. But the Dread, what do they want? The obvious answer is power. But I wonder if it's that simple. So while Sloan is not talking, I follow the objective marker and, you know, pick up another osseous fragment. The next path forward is not exactly entirely obvious. I notice, you know, the crystal lighting up this area, and I take a look down this giant pillar. I'm like, surely that's not where I have to go. So I end up running backwards and waste a lot of time because I notice a taken blight. So I'm like, oh, maybe I have to head all the way back down. The game lets me know that that is not quite correct. So with that not being the correct direction, I'm like, well, maybe I actually do have to head down here, since it was at least lit up, and that ended up being correct. I'm shaking my mouse like, wait, bro, no way. I had to drop down here, and I end up dying instantly because I dropped down a little too much. Sloan, something's still bothering me. The taken energy you're headed toward, it's not flickering anymore. It was blinking in and out. Then it was waxing and waning. Now it's just there. That's it. It's been getting stronger, and it's not just because you're closer. Right, so after that respawn, I'm like, maybe I should mind my steps a little bit, and I still just end up dying from that. So that's clearly not the way to go. Shoot a couple of the bulbs, you know, make sure that that's not something. Then I'm like, okay, well, hold on. I have to head back up because I dropped down a little bit too much. I am a little bit wary of the giant stabby thing that just comes out, but I do manage to make my way towards this little control tower in the middle of nothing. So you're able to take a good look at the absolute scale of, you know, the Dreadnaught. It is a massive ship. It was carved out of a dead worm god, and here I'm able to take a better look at some of the more hivey nature of the ship, as you know, the parts that I've explored more, or that we've been able to explore, have been, you know, tainted with the whole skin being flayed to expose the bone due to the taken energiness. I was trying to I just get on the taken plate thing, or taken pusher, and that enables me to jump onto this platform. Unfortunately, I get absolutely smashed by the piston After been jumping, I do notice that, there is a barrier we, need to cross. So clearly this is how we're going to cross that barrier in particular. The hive gunk allows us to bypass the barrier. Just repeating words. Wow. I actually initially get tripped up due to how identical it looks like. I'm like, wait a second. There's some more tame plates. There's another wall section there. Hello. There's another area, and I'm like, wait a second. Did I mess up somehow? Did I somehow go backwards? Because that's not something I would put past me. Like, did I completely mess up? And so I end up jumping back down here to a little bit of a safe section to make sure. I'm like, nope. I did not mess up. I am indeed headed in the correct direction. But that's how much this being the exact same tripped me up. And of course, you can't even get on top of the thing without falling off. So amazing, great job, great collision. But the enemies did confirm the fact that I am making progress. So it's always good to have them over here finish that off. Almost die, but probably was not gonna die there. All right, can make a pretty quick and easy jump to this area. I do notice immediately that there is a, glowing green barrier. So that's another indicator that, lets me know that I'm headed in the right direction, which down is definitely that. Guess anyway is fine. But this is where I noticed that, oh, there's a crystal. And so I just grab onto that lunch. I'm like, okay, so great. That was one crystal. I assume that there's probably, at least another crystal or two. This is where I noticed the second crystal. So boom, like, all right, crystal 2 destroyed. Problem, too easy. Right, and a couple more jumps upwards. It's pretty precarious at this point, but there are pretty, clear platforms that, definitely mark where we're supposed to go. This is where I noticed that there is one more rune. So I'm like, all right, there's more crystal that I need to clear. I die a bunch and I end up wasting I would end up wasting like 5 minutes just jumping around this entire area, not finding that final crystal. I'm like, bro, where is this? I end up just shooting, this entire ravine. Like, oh, maybe hopefully, one of my bullets will accidentally, give me some damage indicators to let me know where the crystal is. I'm like, bro, where could this crystal possibly be? And since I couldn't find the crystal at all, I was like, bro, what if they put the last or supposedly first crystal? Of course, not only did I not die from the jump and lived, I then committed to the jump and died. Oh my God, this was a disaster. I can't even think straight, but no. So supposedly this, good job me. I didn't even remember that happening. Got stabbed. At least I didn't die to that. But I'm like, now I can get to the thought process of like, what if these madmen put the first crystal all the way back here? And they did. Luckily, it did not take me that long to spot. But it looked a little bit ambitious of a jump first, but these 3 walls actually line up quite perfectly, or at the perfect height to guide us to where we go. So the trek back up was actually way easier than it was the first time around. And the barrier has gone ahead and auto-dissipated. And now the objective markers are, lining the path forward for us pretty perfectly. I'm not just gonna tell you to turn around. We can't just leave it alone. Where there was one Dread Commander, more will show up. You need to investigate and do what you do best. All the same, be prepared for heavy resistance. Don't go in half-cocked. Reload your weapons. Take stock of the area. You know the drill. Come back alive. Whatever it takes. There's some more taking balls. I'll take note of the objective marker. I'm like, okay, we'll have to do a bit of a weird turnaround jump here. Do a little bit of air strafing, no problem. Put my well straight in the fire, too easy. So I do notice that this is a bit of a plate section, but I don't actually need to end up sitting on it, and so I can just place down a rally banner to start the encounter instead. This room's got hive magic all over it. I swear those runes look familiar. Where are Eris's note? Investigate whatever's in front of you while I do that. The energy coming off it is incredible. Barring another source, it's probably what you came for. And there it is. We get a good look at the Barrow-Dyad. I have to go into my settings in order to disable the HUD because, of course, there's no photo mode, cringe, but there's a good look at the exotic SMG. Honestly, it does look pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely giving off that fossilized look. No doubt that was its intention. But after that, we can go ahead and just pick it up. Boom, the Barrow-Dyad. Coalescence of the Knife and Coalescence of Sorrow. So we did pick up a coalescence of the sky from like forever ago. So it seems like that's going to end up becoming a factor as you or being involved with the Barrow-Dyad, probably for its catalyst maybe. That's going to go ahead and officially start off this encounter against Xir-Kuur, taken and not taken. So damaging the first boss enough allows us to enter a different dimension where we can deal with the other adds and Xir-Kuur taken version. The boss actually swaps between the taken and non-taken version, with the platforms swapping depending on whatever realm or not realm we're in. Boom. So once we're done with one phase, we just have to shoot some balls, allowing us to travel to a different dimension. The suffocating terror eyes have reappeared, actually coming into play, making sure we are forced to take some amount of cover. But luckily, you know, some of the reputation ranks allow us to, you know, decrease the stacks, and we're able to just, you know, clear ads, clear the, it's mainly a lot of ad clear, do some damage to the boss with our super, because, you know, we just gain so much super energy off of ads. It's insane. It's honestly like, you know, something I'm not really thinking about. I'm actually using the delayed shield to block damage just because I'm like, I can. But yeah, I have my super backup for Xir-Kuur not taken. Go ahead and finish it off, no problem. Xir-Kuur takes on a new shape, because of course it is. The final shape is not so final apparently. We were pranked, we were lied to, we were bamboozled. But Xir-Kuur becomes fully taken, and this is where the plate from earlier actually comes into play. And we just need to step on the plate in order to seal it. No problem. Dude is moving so slow, like wow. It's not even, he had no chance. Apparently we just know the high runes to seal off this door, but maybe this was just a pre-planned mechanism that just exists. We can go ahead and collect our loot. Boom. This allows us to access the dyadic ascension quest and completes the exotic mission, Derealize.